excited to bring her onto our team this year. Her favorite love is bronze and silver levels, so that's what she'll be doing most of. Last meeting, and met over once before, but girls, look at Miss Maddie. You will be starting here on August 11th, so then you will be seeing her on a regular basis. So we are really, really blessed this year to have 3 coaches on staff, which is not normal. We normally have 2 for our bronze and silver teams. So sometimes there will just be 2, but oftentimes 3, which is going to give them a really, really great year. So thank you, Maddie. All right. So, most of you, if you were here last year with us on any fashion, we were on a Jackrabbit software system. Prior to that, we were with Sports Engine. We liked Sports Engine for certain things, and we didn't like it for other things, so we tried out Jackrabbit. We liked that for certain things and didn't like it for other things. But what we found mostly is for parents and being it user-friendly, we're moving back to Sports Engine. So a lot of you have gotten an email that you needed to create that account under Sports Engine and register for a class, which is bronze or silver, or whatever class you're in. That needed to happen, so thank you for doing that. From here on out, we will be using our Sports Engine class software system. We were able to get a little bit better rate, so if you are paying with a credit card, the fees are going to be somewhat the same, but that tech fee that was called under Jackrabbit is going to be called something else under Go Motion. But what does it mean? It means they're charging you because you're using a charge card, and that's what they're charged. So lots of times there's no getting around that these days. They put the credit card fee back onto you. But the ACH fee under Sports Engine is much cheaper than it was for Jackrabbit. So if you want your tuition payments to come out from your ACH, your bank account, choose the ACH feature and put in your bank account. It's only at a 1.5% charge instead of 3.9, and then a 30% fee. Did I say that right? 30 cent fee. So much cheaper than it was in Jackrabbit. So we liked that feature for our customers. What is Excel Gymnastics? Excel Gymnastics was developed a few years ago, mainly because the JO, or now is DP level, was very rigorous. It took a lot of time, and they wanted to develop a program where gyms didn't have to spend as many hours in the gym for practice. It skyrocketed. It is now the biggest body that USA Gymnastics has. Excel Gymnastics is very popular. It gives our gymnasts a very good competitive competition. The meets are all over the United States. So we really like this Excel program. The levels that we have here are bronze, and that's our entry level, then silver, and then gold, and then platinum. It does go on to have diamond and sapphire, but we have taken out diamond and sapphire out of our gym, and we have gone over to the DP level. We had a great year with that last year, so we're going to continue with that this year. Registering under USAG. Every kid who competes has to register with USA Gymnastics. That is our governing body, and they have to have and before I can register for meet. So congratulations to all of you. We are all registered. I have a full roster, and tomorrow morning I get to go in and start registering for the meets. And I will have a tentative meet schedule for you tonight. So thank you for doing that. And here's what bronze, silver, gold, platinum in our DP program. you're going to actually have to go in and sign it saying that you've read it and that your gymnast understands it as well. So if you ever have to refer back to it, it is in your parent portal. So what is our annual breakdown? What do we do from May to August? Well, from May to August, we decide what levels they're going to be in, and sometimes we switch them. As you may know, I think a few of you in here have switched to different levels. We can assume in April that this is what will be best for you, but then sometimes we get you into that level and we just see you flourish, and we need to move you up. And so, congratulations to you, for those of you who have moved up. Summer is our biggest training season because bronze and silver start competing at the end of September. That is could be their first meet. So summer is really, really hyped up here to learn their skills, to learn the routines, and to fine-tune them before we start our competition season. And then in August, we always have our team meeting. You get your up-and-coming meet schedule. So those are the things that are happening this summer. Then September through December, that is when bronze and silver are going to compete. We also have one meet in December for our DP levels. That'll be the peppermint twist meet. Otherwise, bronze and silver are the only ones. They'll have 4 regular invitational meets, and during those meets, if your child receives a score, last year it was 34 for an all-around. What does that mean? It means when your child gets up and they compete on the vault, and if they get an 8.5, and then they get up on bars and they get an 8.5 or higher, and if they get up on beam and compete at 8.5 or higher, and if they get up on vault and compete, or floor and compete that, and you add all those scores up, if it's 34 or more, they advance to the state meet in December. And they can do that at any one of the 4 meets. So anytime we have a meet this season, in our regular season, if they get a 34, we think it's going to remain 35.5, thank you. 35.5. If it remains that and they get a 35.5 or higher at any of those meets, they automatically qualify to be at the state meet in December. So, then January through April, they will have one more meet, bronze and silver, and it is our away meet. This year we are going to Wisconsin Dells for our away meet. Fun, but that is just for our bronze and silver teams. Now what else happens in January through May? Our gold and upper levels, they have their general competition season. And their away meet is in Panama City for the Edgewater meet. Then the state meet for our uppers happen in March. And then in April, we are going to have our regional meet. So 7 states get together that we're in region 4. And if they qualify at the state meet with a certain score, only our silver girls get to advance to the regional championships. Bronze is not allowed as of USAG rules. Silver gets to advance. So, look forward to that. Then from April to May is our season where we choose our teams for the next season. In your sports engine account, you will need to go in, and when you log in, you will be prompted to sign these policies. So at the end, I'll ask all of you to log in. You'll sign these policies, and then you'll be able to sign the team handbook policy. Just meaning you read it, you understood it, and your gymnast does as well. First and foremost here at Flyways, we care about safety. Our coaches care about the safety of your gymnast, our equipment, how they practice, when they practice, all about safety. And it's our utmost concern. Injuries. Even though we can be as safe as possible, injuries happen. If they do, and your child is out of practice for some time, we do ask that you take them to the doctor. Some, they're going to take them to the doctor right away. But the instant that happens, we need something from you. We need a doctor's note. We need the doctor to tell you what they are able to do and not able to do in our gym. The notes that we don't like to see are, well, let their pain be the judge. It's not a good thing. We have kids here that have a super high pain tolerance and will practice and do things that maybe they should not be doing based on that. Then we have others who don't have a pain tolerance, and if it's conditioning, I mean, they may say it hurts. We don't want them to be the judge, or that to be the judge of what they can and cannot do. Your doctor's going to know. High impact stuff. What is it that they can and cannot do? We need a very, very specific note on what they can and cannot do and how long they need to be kept from doing things and when they can resume. So when their injury is over and you've gone back to the doctor says, yeah, they may resume full activity in gymnastics, great. We need that note, and then your gymnast can do it. We're not doctors, we don't want to be ones to decide and make that decision and hurt them even more. So we rely heavily on those doctor's notes to be specific for us. Also, girls, if you get injured here in the gym, who should you tell? Oh, thank you, Miss Reagan. Tell your coach. I don't want you to get hurt, roll your ankle, and kind of hobble around and then get back up and do something. You need to tell your coach. Okay? I need them to know you hurt yourself. And then they can be the judge. Do you need ice? Do you need to sit? Do you maybe, hey, we're not going to do these things. But if you don't tell them, they're not going to know, and then you may injure it even further. So please, please, if you get hurt, tell your coach. Open communication. We want the communication between parents and families and the gym to be fabulous. You're going to see, we're going to communicate with you via email. You're going to get emails. We're going to try not to bombard you with them. So when you get an email, it's important stuff. Please read it through to its entirety. All the way to the end. Because the end may be really important stuff. Don't assume what it may say or go, yeah, you know what, I got that. I'll figure it out. Please read it. Please follow the steps because they're going to be really important. So these last few weeks you had some really important processes to do, and that's how we're going to communicate with you. If there's any time that you need to communicate with us, at the end of this handbook you're going to have email addresses and it's going to tell you who to email for what. Please reach out to us. It's the best way to do it because we can call you from there if you say call us, but at least we have in writing, it's from you, what it is, and we can keep track of it. I'm going to print it, and we just don't lose communication that way. So please reach out and email. Rips and grips. You may see that your kids are coming home with some rips on their hands. Yay! Raise your hand if you have a rip in your hand right now. Yeah, Reagan. Woo-hoo! Oh, you're a hard worker. All right. Rips happen here in the gym. Mostly because of the friction of ours. And everybody thinks, oh, well, I'm going to get those grippy things, and then I won't get any more rips. No, you still get rips with grips. Grips are mainly if your child has a kick. So don't go out and buy your kids these fancy little grips that are expensive and bring them to the gym. Coaches will tell you when they need to get grips. Grips are just part of the process for skills that they're doing here may be scary for them. That's when we rely heavily on our coaches to know, are they ready? Are they ready for more advanced skills, or are they not ready? And even if they're ready, the kids still may be scared. That's okay. We work through that fear process. Overcoming fear and trusting themselves, that's all the lovely part of gymnastics. And it happens. And it happens to the best of us, even when we get older. All of a sudden we develop different fears. But what I want you to do is trust your coaches. They know what you're capable of doing, and they're here to help. So girls, if you're here in the gym and they're asking you to do a skill and you're afraid, I need you to speak up and say, I'm scared. And then they may help you through it. They may spot you more, but you need to speak up, right? We don't know what you're thinking inside. I need you to tell your coach. Hard work kind of sums up gymnastics. Gymnastics is hard work. Your whole entire body, from your toes up to this right here, works hard to be a good gymnast. And there's no way around it. So sometimes you may hear your kids coming home, they worked us so hard, it was so hard, I just want to quit. It's too hard. We work through that here. We're used to hearing that. And they may have those bumps in the road. But what a great, great life lesson for them. To work hard, to do things that are really, really hard, get over that hump, and then they go, wow, I did that. I got over it. And to be proud. I mean, we need to work hard enough. We need to really work hard in gymnastics. So, we really want to make sure that you are embracing the fact that you're here. While you're here, you're going to work hard, and good things are going to come out of it. A growth mindset. We hear a lot of, I can't. We taboo that I can't. I can't now. You might be able to. The harder you work, you can. You've got to set your mind to it. So we're trying to and have a growth mindset in our gymnasts, and not always, feeling discouraged and I can't, or oh, so-and-so is better than me. That's going to really mess with our minds, and we just really want to turn that around and say, hey, you can't do it yet. Don't compare yourself to Susie. You're you. And we'll work with what you've got and when you can do it. So we really try very hard here to develop that good, strong mindset. All right, if you are a gymnast here and you're in the gym, we have some expectations. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to your gymnasts. Be kind to your coaches. Be respectful. Bullying. If you're here in this gym and you are having a problem with somebody that is maybe not treating you kindly, we want to hear about it. I don't want you to be a tattletale. I don't want you to tell us just because you want somebody to get in trouble. I want you to tell us because it's important. Because your feelings matter. And they're very important to us. And we want you to feel safe here. We want you to feel happy here. We don't want you to be sad coming here because someone is picking on you. We want to know about it. And we'll handle it. We aren't going to make it awkward for you or make it hard for you. We want to make it better for you. So please, if you know that your child is experiencing this, we'd like the child to come to us, and sometimes that's hard, especially if they're younger, then parents, please reach out to us.
They never do it in front of our faces, so.
Yeah. But and don't let it fester. Don't let it go on and think, well, maybe next week it'll get better. Because it might not. And the better. So please reach out to us and let us know if any of those things are happening in the gym. All right. Parent expectations. What do we expect of our parents? Also to be kind and talk kindly to one another. And if is lack of communication or lack of understanding why we do the things that we are not perfect. And so there's things that we can work on. Please bring them to our attention. And bring it to us right away. We have a lot of parent communication, so like I said, make sure you're reading them, check your emails, make sure nothing is going into spam, because I think now everybody has gotten those emails from admin and everybody's answered them, so I don't think anything should be going into spam once you open that in your mail and take it out of spam. So they should be coming to you. Just please make sure you're reading them. All right, what happens at a meet? So meets aren't going to be here. They're going to be somewhere else. And you're going to get to that location. We're going to tell you ahead of time where it is. We're going to tell you what time to get there. And we really, really want you to work hard at getting there early. Why? Because the kids are usually nervous on meet day. And when they get there early, our coaches have some really good, fun time with them and work on settling their nerves down. And then by the time we have to do a warm-up, their nerves are gone. And they're realizing, oh, okay, it's kind of just like rare practice. They maybe really like them to be early. If they come in and they have to rush right in and rush to a warm-up and not settle down those nerves, it might not make for the best moves. So we want them to be early. Right? So, first thing they do when they come early, is they find their coach out on the floor. So, this floor will be taped off or sectioned off, and that is the parent's cue to say, oh, this spot isn't for me, it's for your kid. So you're going to find the coach out there, and then your child is going to go to the coach. Parents may enter the competition area at all. Very strict rules, and they're getting more strict every year. And we got another email asking us to remind our parents to remember, parents are not to enter or approach the competition area before the meet, during the meet, especially. So once you deliver your child to your coach and she's on the floor, that's your turn to go sit in the stands. If you see your child struggling on the floor and they're crying, or if they got hurt, you can't rush right onto the floor. Okay? If we need to get you, we will get you. If they're crying, they need to work it out with the coach. They need to learn how to do that without parents rushing right in, because it's not allowed. If parents approach and come up to the floor and say, "What are you doing? Oh, your hair's a little messy. Can I fix it?" And the judges see that, they will take a deduction on our team. So, no matter how much you may want to go out and talk to your child during the meet, don't do it. Don't do it.
100% of kids know exactly where mom and dad are.
Yes. So, then, after they find their coach, when they get all their jitters out, we have what's called open stretch or open warm-up. And that's when they get 20 minutes. Not 21, not 19, they get 20 minutes to warm up. And the coaches put them through just this quick 20-minute warm-up. Then they have march-in. Then they come and they march in, or they stand together in a line as a team, usually near their first event. So, those of you who are real newbies, the 4 events: vault, bars, beam, and floor. So they'll go to all 4 events during a meet. They'll start out at one, and then after they're done warming up that event, then they'll compete that event. Then they'll move on to the next one, and they'll warm up at that event, and they only get a certain amount of time. Depending on how many gymnasts we have, there's a certain amount of time for gymnasts that we get, and that's how much our warm-up time is. And so then, by the time they're done with the 4th warm-up and compete on the events, they've done all 4. After each child competes, a score so I talked about all those numbers. So after all 4 are competed, you can do the adding and they'll add up and you'll see what their all around score is. Then, after we're done competing, we usually go to a whole separate area and we do awards. And awards go out 50%. So if, and it depends on the age group. So when you get to a meet, you won't know what the age groups are depending on how they're competing. But when they get back in the award room, they divide the girls up accordingly. So their age group is child A, and there's 20 kids in that age group. 10 of those kids will get an award on vault. 10 will get an award on each event. They only go out 10 places. If there's 16 kids, and they only go out 8 places. So it may seem different for each age level because it's based on 50% of how many kids are in that age level. All right, after awards, we like them to stay all the way through awards. Even if and you'll get a cheat sheet, you'll learn to look on a little website and your scores will come up and you'll get to see how they place. And we'll tell you what that is when you get to a meet because each meet uses different score apps. Even if you think your child isn't going to place, we want them to stay all the way through because that's what a good teammate does. And it's really not about just getting in the room. We want to teach them that. It's very valuable life skills for them. It may be hard. You may feel even worse than they do, but we'll work through all that. And that's what we want them to stay all the way through and then talk with the coaches afterwards. Because if we see that happening, and it happens, where there's a child or two that doesn't receive an award, and they're kind of sad. And our coaches want to be able to talk to them and let them know, hey, they did great, they did their best. There's the next one. So we like them to stay through that process, not just rush off afterwards. So please allow our coaches that time. All right.
I didn't know that.
Well, when they find their coach, right?
Yeah. Well, just explain
All right.
that it's an ear piece.
All right. So what they're saying is when you get to a venue and you see your coaches, then you might ask, where do I sit? There's a big arena. Where would I sit? Sometimes your coaches will come up to tell you and they'll say, hey, typically a gym is divided to A side and a B side. And they'll tell you it's best to sit on the A side because that's what our squat's going to be. But they'll kind of tell you there. So if you just kind of hang tight, our coaches are used to seeing our girls come in, their warm-up jackets, and they do try and come over to you and tell you where the best place to sit is. Competition rules for our gymnasts. All right, we want you to be there early, and we want you to stay on the competition floor. Don't be asking to rush up and go talk to mom and dad. That can't happen. Even if you're a little sad or a little nervous, you can't be going into the stands to see mom and dad. You've got to stay on the floor with our team and our coaches. We want you to come meet ready. What does meet ready mean? Meet ready means your hair is fixed. And you can YouTube gymnastics hair. Hair needs to be immediately out of their face. So, kids with short hair, if it's flopping in their face, lots of times there'll be little ponies back. Something so that they are not distracted from trying to get their hair out of their face or using their hands. Full ponies, buns, they cannot have these flyaways. If they're in the middle of their competition and they're fixing their hair like this, that's not a gymnastics move. Those judges are noticing. They're taking some checkpoints or some points away. You need to have your hair back. So, gymnasts, don't be crying in the morning when mom's very, very important.
Also in practice, it's really important. There's a lot of the girls coming in and their hair is falling in their face and stuff, and it's distracting them from doing their gymnastics.
They're gonna get to a meet and be like pushing the ghost bangs out of their face.
Yeah.
Because it's a habit. Yes. So gymnasts, when you come here, it doesn't have to be spectacular looking, but it should be out of your face. A nice strong pony, not just these wimpy little ponies and with all these little flyaways that are coming down. Because it is true. They're constantly doing this. And it becomes a really, really bad habit. Their hands need to be doing gymnastics moves and not be fixing their hair. Okay? Alright. And two, that same goes with leotards. If they're wearing a leotard to practice that's too snug and they're constantly pulling it down, you'll see them. They'll be on the beam and they'll be doing their stuff and then they're pulling their leotard down and then a little bit more. It really doesn't work for a flowing routine. You're not allowed to do that. So pay attention to those Leos if they start getting too tight or small. They need to bring all their gear on. So everybody ordered competition Leo. It should fit nice and snug, but it shouldn't be riding out. Okay? They're undergarments. Typically, people do not wear undies underneath their competition Leo. One, you don't wear them underneath the swimsuit. Two, because it's just another thing that's gonna snug up in places it shouldn't snug up and you'll want to pull it out. So, if you can get away with it, don't wear undies underneath your Leo. Any other garments should stay underneath your Leo. Shouldn't be popping out to be seen. So you don't want to be fixing it and worrying about it. I'm worrying about staying on the beam, your safety on the floor. No dangly earrings. If they have to wear earrings, studs only. They should not be dangling. It's not safe. Also, no jewelry. No rings. Can you imagine being on the bar and having a ring on? No jewelry. We've now gotten into these permanent bracelets or permanent jewelry things. That should not be a thing. No jewelry. So if they have a permanent bracelet, a piece of athletic tape needs to go around. So, it's a judge's deduction, and they can take it. They can take up.
Here's like
Nails.
22.
Fake nails.
Yeah, fake nails.
Practice.
Like you should
did
not
tell
be
me.
wearing
They're not.
fake nails or long painted nails to our gymnastics meet. That's not a thing.
They think after their nails are too long too.
I would
No,
like
they don't
to-
even really want their nails painted. Why? It's a distraction for our judges. We want our judges being able to look at our gymnasts and looking at and doing what they're supposed to do. Pointed toes, straight legs, straight arms. If the judge feels that there is a distraction on your gymnast, they can take a deduction because then that means they're not watching what they're supposed to. And
Even
they
our
might-
best kids, we don't want to draw attention to feet. Feet have a lot of deductions that add up everywhere.
Yes. So just take that polish off before you come. Then they should pack their bag. Their backpack should be packed with maybe a blanket because they sit on a very cold floor, not a leotard. So a nice small blanket can be in there. Healthy snacks. Water bottle with water in it. No juicy juices or bubblers or pop or anything like that. Water. And healthy snacks. Maybe some extra hairspray. We've kind of given you the list as to what you can pack in your backpack.
What?
All right. And no electronics. Girls, do not bring your tablets or phone or anything to the gym or to the meet. We don't want you going back to your bag after you compete and
scores.
No, no checking scores.
You'll do it anyway, but
Your parents will be
So-
doing it, you don't need to.
What we want you there is just focusing on being that day. All right, competition rules for parents, like I said. We want you to have them there early. Gymnastics meets are long, about 3-ish hours. They're not any less than that. Some of the meets could go even longer. So
About the
bring
awards.
a good seat, depending on where we are, but plan on being there for quite a while. Deciding if your gymnast is ready. Some of our gymnasts, if they've been out with an injury and haven't been practicing, and especially the week of a gymnastics meet, if they aren't meet ready, we may not have them compete at the meet or all events at the meet. It's not safe for them. So our coaches will tell you that. But if your child has an injury, they should not be competing, then we need to know that. Okay? And we'll get to that, the more specifics of that. All right. And please try not to, when you're in the stands, distract your gymnast and draw attention to where you are, especially when they're competing and they know where you are. And if you're up there, oh man, we don't want them looking up at you, especially when they're on beam. So if they get up and it's their turn to compete and you want to get good pictures, and we do ask that all parents record their child's routine. There are some instances where we would come to you and say, hey, a judge thinks that they didn't do a certain skill in their routine. We can recall and get a video of it. For only that reason. Not for deductions like, did they not point their toes or did they bend their It's only if the judges say they missed a skill and we're like, oh no, they didn't. And we'll show you. We can use that video. But be careful of where you are when you're videoing. So for instance, if they're on beam, you don't want to be right in their sight line, filming and taking pictures and smiling. They're going to be paying attention to you. They need to focus. They need to focus on whatever event that they're on. So please try and stay out of their sight when you are trying to get pictures and taking videos. We just don't want them to focus on it. No flash photography. They kind of announce that there. They'll say, shut your cell phone, turn them on vibrate. Don't use flash photography because that is also a huge distraction. Think if your child is up on beam or doing a really hard skill and you're taking a picture and flashes go off, it's not safe for the gymnast. So, and when you're in the stands, please be mindful of the conversations you may be having. Try not to talk ill of other teams that they're not there. I mean, just anything like that. Please just know there's lots of people around you, and we want our Flyways North parents and families in the stand being utmost respectful and professional and just encouraging to all gymnasts, no matter who they are. I mean, yes, we want our team to win, but not at the expense of others either. Tuition. So now tuition is going to come out of your sports engine account. So everybody should have that account with the payment that you want in there. So if I talk to you tonight about that ACH and you're like, oh, I didn't put in my bank information and I think I really want it to come out, please go ahead and take care of it tonight and choose that as your primary choice because tomorrow tuition will come out of sports engine. So it's due on the 1st. If for whatever reason, if there's insufficient funds, there will be a $25 fee for that. If it's not paid by the 7th, then you will receive a $25 late charge. So just know that that is now happening through Sports Engine. And like I said, your ACH, it's 1.5% plus a 30-cent administration fee, and then the CC charges of 3.9 plus a 30-cent administration processing fee. And when you enter your payment information in there, you are giving us permission to charge if you have any outstanding balances. If you have outstanding balances before a meet and you're not current, your child could be pulled from that account. So that you need to keep current with your tuition. If you run into any problems, it's happened to the best of us. Please reach out. Please reach out to us and let us know, hey, we're having some problems, can we work something out? We will work with you, we want to be there for you. But if you don't let us know, and we don't know, and we think, oh, I just don't want to pay, no, I don't want to pay. Don't let it get to that point. So if there's something going on, reach out to us and we'll be happy to work with you. Oh, bring your own tape. So, we go through lots and lots of tape in this gym. So, all gymnasts to every practice and meet should have sports tape in their bags. Okay? If not, we do have it here, and it is $3. And if we need to give it to them, we can put it on your Sports Engine account or pay it when you come to pick them up. But just make sure they're bringing tape. Class makeups, cancellations, and withdrawals. So first of all, class makeups are super, super hard. Because your gymnast, if they're bronze, only come to the bronze practices. So to make up, we don't want them to come to a silver practice, because then they're going to be with silver kids, doing silver things, and it's not always the best. We'll work with you to try and resolve things if they're missing and they're falling behind. But what's really most important is that they just come to their regularly scheduled practices. Right? That's most important. Why do we have this withdrawal policy and cancellation policy? Well, in the beginning of the season, when we choose our teams, we choose X amount of numbers. I hire X amount of coaches, and I make up a schedule, and I say, coaches, this is your schedule for the whole season. So they know, these are my hours, and I get to count on them. And in return, I expect them to stay here the whole season and commit to this team that I put them on. It's the best for our gymnasts to not fluctuate if they don't have to. So, and then we figure out the cost. What is that cost going to be? So if a gymnast leaves in the middle of the season because I just don't think I like it anymore, or wow, it was really busy. Okay. We kind of let you know in the beginning what it was going to look like being a gymnast for a season. That it was a season-long commitment, expected to go all the way to the end of May, because if you pull somebody out, it's a domino effect for our whole team. So then what? Then I have to raise tuition because somebody left? Now their tuition isn't going to be factored in. I can't cut their hours. That's not going to be good for our gymnasts. It's not fair to them. So this process is super important, and that's why we lay it out very, very clearly in the beginning before you commit to doing this team. It is a season-long commitment. There'd have to be some extreme circumstance that's going to allow you to discontinue tuition because we just don't want it to affect the rest of the team. It's not fair. And somebody else could have taken their spot that would have gladly kept that promise and that commitment for the whole season. So just be very mindful of why we have that policy. It's just best for the whole gym, the whole team, all the kids. Team fees. So, I'm gonna show you their competition schedule very soon. And what that looks like, when their meets are. So I said they're gonna have 4 meets between October, because we're not gonna do a end of September meet, we're gonna do October and November, we're gonna have 4 meets. In December, they're gonna have their state meet. And in January, they're gonna have their away meet. That's if they're bronze and silver. If they're DP, and I'll go over your competition schedule because you kind of get that.
Yep.
They're gonna have more than the regular. Okay. So, your meet fees are separate than tuition because I have to pay for everyone to be entered into every meet. Each individual gymnast, I have to pay an entry fee for. And then I have to pay a team fee for the team to be recognized at a meet. Then I have to pay my coaches to go to meets. They have to drive there, they have to park, they have to attend the meets. Once upon a time, it was really, really great, and they fed us there. It was wonderful.
It was.
And now they got rid of it to 2020, and
To be fair, we
we
did.
love not having to feed everybody. Hey, well, I have to eat.
Just stay.
So they took that away from us. So there's just a lot of extra things that go into being at a meet. So we figure out all those costs of all the meets, and then we divide them by the number of gymnasts that we have on those teams, and that's your team fees.
Oh my gosh, if you think about it, it's like they're our bosses. You know?
Think about
Almost.
Almost, yeah.
So we have done a very good job of calculating to the best of our knowledge what our fees have been like. And so we think this is pretty accurate, that this is going to get you through the whole season of all your meets. We haven't done state and the away meets before, but we know what those costs are now. So if you feel pretty confident, this is going to get you all of those meets. And we're going to divide it into 5 installments. Start coming out August 15th through December 15th. So after December 15th, you're done making all those payments, and then we still get to go to the away meet. The only extra added costs are for you. So we don't take your child to the away meet, you do. Lodging is not included on our away meets. That's for you to find, and your transportation. We don't do that. So, yep.
I think you, because these are a lot of the new ones. Yes, they pay for the gymnast fee, but they also have to pay to get.
Oh, okay. Yep, very. Once upon a time, gymnastics meets used to be held in their gyms. It's not the case anymore. The liability is way too hard. Equipment isn't maybe the best for that kind of competition all weekend long. So now, the way they do it is they rent a facility and they hire a company to bring in really great equipment, and that company is responsible for the equipment all weekend long for the safety of it. Every year, they buy brand new equipment to sell off their old. They use it for 1 year, buy all brand new, and use it for the next season. So we are guaranteed safety, which is super important to us. But it's costly. It's very costly. And that is why our meet fees have gone up considerably, because they've gone this route. But I won't, deny that safety is more important than that. But also for you to get into the meet because of the facilities that they rent. Admission, usually for adults, is around $20 per meet. And so when you're thinking about, woo, we're bringing the family, I have 5 kids, and I'm bringing just be prepared that it will cost you for admission.
We try to tell you ahead of
Not
time.
your gymnast. Your gymnast is included that's competing for their session.
But
So I heard someone say it. Someone
Yeah.
We'll try to tell you how much it is, and like can use a credit card, there's like, once in a
Okay.
while, they'll be like,
Yeah.
Cashless.
Yeah, sometimes they'll say cash only. So, we try and tell you that, so when we give you the neat information, it'll be on in the parent portal, and it'll give you everything you need to know, where it is, if there's parking, what the admission is, if we know ahead of time. All the gadgets that they have at the meet, anything that we tell you, we will report and give you on that. Alright, if you are not able to attend one of these meets, if you know right now when I show you that meet schedule, and you say, oh my goodness, we have this vacation, or we have a wedding, or something, I need to know ASAP via email. Do not tell me verbally, oh, I can't attend that meet in November. I won't remember. And I won't remember to take them off, because tomorrow morning, every single one of your kids is registered for every single one of these meets. Then, if I get an email from you by September 1st, I will go in and I will take them out of that meet. After September 1st, I'm kind of goofy, but I will pay every single solitary meet fee for the rest of the year. There's due dates, like it has to be paid by this much. I do not wait for them, because they tack on astronomical late fee after a certain date, and I don't want to pay it. So, I pay them all. So if you get to me after September 1st and tell me, I'm not going to be at this meet, the best I can offer you is maybe you'll get all of your entry fee back for that meet, but it won't be until February.
And
Because
we'll be
they don't
responsible.
give it to me until after the meets happen. And sometimes they will not give you any refund. They say, this is the deadline is the deadline, there won't be any. And sometimes they'll say, well, then you get a portion of it back. So, but if you tell me by September 1st, you know one of these meets won't work, then I can guarantee that their entry fee will be refunded to you. So, and how are you gonna let me know?
Email.
Email Kim.
Email.
She's the only
But
one
what
who
do
can do
you
it.
If you get it to help gets it to me too. I mean,
Not us.
yeah.
But like,
And just email it to the admin. Don't email to the lobby. Don't send your kid in to tell the coach. Don't do it. Email me. I never ever want to be wrong and not have it in writing what exact meet you were being taken out of and assume anything. So let's say you're injured and you know your kid is not going to compete. We're not going to assume that, because we're not keeping up with your doctors, of, oh, they'll be ready to compete by this date. No. If they're injured, don't assume that we're going to take them out of the meet. So, you need to email me. They will not be at this meet. And email it as soon as you know. Okay?
Wisconsin does.
Yep.
I don't think, remember on the meat flyer for the dolls, it's like literally, if you don't opt out, by the like, when they close that, you're not gonna get it.
No, right. That's what I said.
But
That you may
listen,
not. Right.
September 1st.
You may not. Especially those away meets, they're very, very popular, and they know they will take as many as they can and they will close it, and after that deadline is over, they ain't giving you any. They don't need it.
Cause they read it.
You got a wedding, or it doesn't matter. Because they could have filled it with somebody else, they are not giving us a. So, it's kind of just how it goes. Alright, if we are wrong with our projections and our meet fees and all that for some reason, you may get an extra charge in February, and it will be very, very detailed, like this is why you're getting an extra charge. We haven't done that for a while. So we've been pretty good, that's why I feel confident that we're going to be pretty good. Or if we overcalculated, we get a credit. So, but that won't happen until February. Did I tell you it was 5 and spell divided into 5, right? stays with one person. Sports engine motion. This will be your source, flyways, nurse gymnastics. We have a team Facebook page. If you haven't joined it, join it. Great stuff on there. Little tidbits, and parents can share things once it's approved. So join our team Facebook page. For all other questions, admin things, email help. All right, behavior plan. Surprise, sometimes we have some triggers here. And it's not usually. What do we want? We want to handle the behavior here. We don't want to have to drag mom and dad into it unless we absolutely need to. So the first time a behavior arises, if we think it's enough where we have to take the gymnast aside, plan for not behavior arises again, we go to the second plan, and that is you might have to come see me in my office. You don't want that. No, I don't want that. But sometimes it's happened. You gotta come see me. What if we do? I'm going to follow that plan, and I'm going to write it down. We're going to talk about how we can get this behavior correct. If that does not work, and we need a third time, then we're bringing in mom and dad. Then it's time we all have to sit down and say, hey, how can we best do this? Because we got stuff going on here. We only have so many hours here in the gym. We want to make it worth your dollar that you're paying. We want every gymnast to get equal amount of time, so we want to be fair for that process. Then we'll bring in you. If it's something right from the get-go that we think you need to know, you'll know. But if it's something we can handle here, we'd like to do that. So if anybody has any objections to that behavior plan, please let us know, because that is what will take place this year. Fundraising. If you are not on the Flyways North Booster Club that raises funds to help pay for things, you might want to consider it. It is a fabulous organization. We have a wonderful board. This isn't something that exists. I would say more gyms don't have it than do have it, because they have to have a lot of bylaws. There has to be a board, but they raise a lot of money every year to help offset the lower costs for gymnastics. So consider it. The information is in the lobby. They have that big bulletin board by the refrigerator. There's packets there people can grab, and it's how to register, what they do. They have great fundraisers. I cannot be affiliated with the Booster Club because of conflicting rules. Our coaches don't know too much about it, so don't ask us if you have questions about the Booster Club. Email them. They're great. Yep.
Also, every lobby attendant is on the board. So
Oh.
if you have questions, your
Oh, that's cute.
will be
that's
That's handy.
That's really
I didn't even plan it, but it's great.
You didn't plan that, but that's
I
good.
know. Gosh, thank you for that. So you could ask the lobby attendants. Our great lobby attendants. All right.
If you don't like fundraising and you're kind of strong and a little bit loud, I mean, we'll train you in. That's what we got here.
Oh, you know what? Thank you. Yes, that's how they all got here. Well, sort of. Sort of. But you're right. If coaching or helping ever interests you, I would love the opportunity to talk to any of you about it. I really would. I think our parents often make the best coaches. And if you're thinking, all right, anything about gymnastics. Well, I'm not going to put you on the DP level. You know, you may start out at preschool. But if that interests it does really also help offset tuition.
It's hard to teach someone to be, you know, a good person, but it's really easy to teach a good person gymnastics. You know what I mean? So
If you have enthusiasm and you love kids and you love to inspire and teach them, then come see me, because then it's for you. So,
Or if you
Yeah.
want a spot,
I know, because I'm looking at
I'm
her
looking
going,
at some
"Oh,
dads
I
out
want
here.
people that-
you got some
that-
dads who might want to come in and spot. Yeah.
Oh, there you
And I am very, very, very blessed. We have really great staff. So, if you want to be part of that, we would love to have you. Thank you for that reminder.
That was good.
All right, here it is. This is, all right. If you are a bronze or silver, this is your schedule. That means they compete all 3 days. Means during that time, they will have one meet. It'll be on one day. But I won't know when that is. They usually let you know 2 weeks ahead of time. Last year I was very blessed. The meets that I chose filled up very quickly, and so therefore they were able to get me the schedule in a decent amount of time. But otherwise, don't expect to know what day and what time they compete until about 2 weeks before. Sometimes it can be even less. And the next one, and that one is in White Bear. Then we're going to do the hardest invite, the 18th through the 19th. And I better tell you, this is a tentative schedule. I cannot register for meets until tomorrow. For a lot of you, I say G reasons that are just. So I know that these meets exist. These are what I want. So that's what I'm going to strive for. That one's in North St. Paul. Then November 8th and 9th. And I do try to look for ones that are not a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And yes, Friday. That is a real thing. They can only have so many kids in a meet, and sometimes it's on a Friday. Chalk It Up is in Roseville, and then the state meet is December 12th through the 14th. They will compete on a Friday. There's no way of getting around that. Somebody here will compete on that Friday at state and Sunday or Saturday and Sunday. The state meet is the only meet. The state meet and the regional championships are the only meets that we don't compete at one time as a team. They compete individually according to their age. So, and then January 30th through February 1st, we have the Wisconsin Dells away meet. And then only our silver, gold, platinum levels will get to do the Region 4 championship meet. Bronze is not allowed for USA, under USA Junior. It's not our choice, but silver on up. That meet is not included in your meet fees because we do not know if they will qualify. In order to qualify for a regional championship meet, you have to do it at the state. And it's tough. So not everybody makes it to regions. We will let you know more about that after there's a state meet. So that is the meet. We do have these sheets, so you can snap a picture of it. It will also be on the website. It will be in your parent portal. But if you want to snap a picture of it tonight, we have several of these sheets lurking around. Here is the upper one. Well, you know what? I only have. Is there anybody here from gold? You got it? Perfect. Is there anybody here gold or platinum? Accepted? Okay, so I don't. So I'll skip this one. And by the way, our gold, platinum, and DP levels, their away meet is typically a Florida meet. Florida hosts the largest gymnastics meet in the world. And it's amazing. So when you get to that level, it's an honor to go to that meet. All right, this is their practice schedule for the school year season. In the summer, we have earlier practices and we give them utmost great gym time. But in the school year, we have to do it within the hours that school doesn't exist. So, we have to change the schedule. So bronze, you have Mondays 4 to 6 and Fridays 4 to 6. Silver, you have Mondays 5:30 to 8:30 and Fridays 4 to 7. And then you start it. So that starts September 8th. That first week after Labor Day, when they go back to school, we're off. No gymnastics that week. We like them to get back in school. It's not their best progress in the gym to have them here that first week of school. So we take them right to the end of summer. They'll start school. They have that week off. Then they come back September 8th, and then we go all the way until May 21st, just before Memorial Day. Hey, at this time, I would love if you logged into your Sports Engine account and you would see those policies that have to be signed. And if you feel comfortable enough to sign the policy of the team handbook that we just went over, or you can read it even more in its entirety and then sign it later. If you'd like to, they all need to be signed by you. Okay. Are there any questions? I gave you a lot of information, and especially about meets. We're going to try and educate you really well just before that first meet. There'll be, for bronze and silver, there'll be a little team meeting the last practice before their meet. Right? So we usually always require you to come in the lobby, one parent, the last practice before a meet. And at the end. And then we all talk. So we'll answer questions and we'll tell you. So that first meet that we have on October 3rd, 4th, or 5th, I'm really hoping, I have put in a request that it not be Friday. I mean, you can ask. And the least they can say is no. But I requested it for us not to be on Friday, if at all possible, because I want them to have that practice. As you can see on these, I've tried to choose as many meets that don't have a Friday in it, but they're hard to find. So let's hope by these meets tomorrow. We will let you know in a week if this is the final meet schedule. So it's not in stone. I'm just going to do a lot of praying. We'll be up at midnight, taking our tests, and then hoping by morning that our tests cleared USAG, and then I can register. Party at midnight.
Where?
Where? On our phones.
Well, I know, I'm doing mine.
Yeah.
I'll do mine every night.
Every person's safe sport credit that we have to take, every coach in America has to take this test because it expires tonight. If we want to register for a meet, we have to. We make a part of that.
We'll be texting each other, what was this answer? No. We've taken it so many times, we probably know what they are by heart.
Please, it was a lot to absorb, and if you go home and you go, oh, I wish I would have asked this, or I don't really understand this, please don't feel bad. Email, ask your coaches. Yeah, no question is enough. We want you to really be able to understand. And I think until you had your first meet, you probably don't know what to ask, right? So. Well, we're looking forward to a great season. Thank you for coming. Did you sign the sheet saying that you attended? anybody didn't sign the attendance sheet, because we want to make sure whoever didn't attend, their faces are gonna go up on our wall. We'll get them.
Do you want me to switch that 59 back before we forget?
So, then, the HDMI 2.
Oh, here, so that's Jackrabbit. Now you're here. So it brings you there.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
now, when you go to it, then you click sign in. Now this is go motion here. So then you go to consoles. So now you're gonna go. You're gonna take.
Not too far away.
Oh, say bye.
And I'm about to rip your